I hope traders and investors alike were green today. Another awesome day in the market with a strong trend. Well, let's go over a little bit of news that we had today. This morning we had the Bank of England come out and announce that they're going to start buying bonds. So, that the market spiked on that. So we knew there was a good chance that the market was going to like it, as in a lot of people are thinking other countries may start purchasing bonds as well to add liquidity to the markets. Apple had some bad news. Tesla had some bad news as well. And not sure, there was rumors all day long whether the Apple news was legit or not. To us, it really didn't matter. It caused the stock to move. That's all we cared about, is we got movement in the stock. We got movement in the stock market. So let's go over some charts here. We got AMC. We got this downward sloping head and shoulders. We have broken out of that. We put in an inside bar yesterday, pushed up, almost testing the previous resistance, which is the neckline today. The 9 is on its way down. Still pretty much trading. It did close a little bit above Monday's close, but we're still trading within that previous bar, counting the wick. So it's staying within that same range. Got your 9 coming down to apply some pressure to the downside. So this is the put to call ratio, and I was asked a question. One of our members had seen another YouTuber talking about a different put to call ratio, and was just curious of what the difference was and why I chose this one. Well, it's pretty simple. The CPC, this is the total put to call ratio, which means this covers stocks, indices, the index is themselves, and that's why I choose this one, because we see so much big money coming in on the SPY and the SPX. We definitely would not want to leave those out of our call or put the call ratios. We want to know what they're doing. And we see a lot of other traders. I have the other chart here. We're going to see in a minute. But that's pretty much why this one covers everything from stocks to the indices to the indexes, and we see that major money coming in, so we want to track that too. This is the oscillators for the Nasdaq, and as you can see, we are 287. No, we're 164. We are cooling off considerably today, coming off a 400 range. This is the oscillator for the New York Stock Exchange, and you can see we are at a negative 170 here as well. A lot cooler than what we were. Still a little warm normally, but it's a lot better than the 400 range. This is the SPX, the S&P 500. You can see we tested weekly support on that. So we have a price tag down here at 36. Looks like 36, 38. We tested that area and pushed back up. Looks like we got a little below it. Watch this 200 day if we continue lower. MACD has crossed bearish here. The US dollar. Today we had a big pullback. Look how we closed. We're forming a candle pattern here. That should, we're starting to talk about this stuff. Have been talking about this stuff. This should start to look recognizable. The candle study will be opened this weekend. Three new channels will be open, including a pattern dictionary, to where you can, if you have a slightest idea, if you're curious about anything that you're seeing on the charts, you'll be able to run to this pattern dictionary and get a boatload of information, from links to examples. Just a lot of information that you can go right to and learn how to trade it and trade them quickly. So the VIX here, you can see we had a huge bearish engulfing bar today, back inside the Bollinger Bands there. This is the VIX 15-minute chart. Now, I posted this early in pre-market. Now, we've seen a head and shoulders topping pattern yesterday form, and then we opened up today and pulled back on that head and shoulders topping pattern. So that was another plus in our decision making today, you know, that helped us go bullish. So this is the crude chart. You can see we you know, had a nice candle back up today as well. Fairly strong day. All right, so this is the CPCE put to call ratio. This just covers the equities, which is basically the stocks. Doesn't, you know, we're not talking the SPY, we're not talking the Qs, we're not talking IWM, we're not talking the SPX. This just covers individual stocks. And as you guys know from being in the Discord, the amount of money we see coming in on the SPY and the Qs and the IWM and, you know, the SPX in a day's time, we do not want to leave those out of our research. It's really that simple. I can change, if you like these candles better, I can change my other chart where I've always used a line chart for that one, and I've used the candles for this one, but I can change that one over to candles with no problem. Apple got this cup pulling back here, where, you know, we got good volume coming in today. It took quite a bit to push that bar back up. You know, we were gapped down big on Apple, and Apple made a very strong recovery. That news hit Apple pretty hard in pre-market. AMD got this little bear flag down here. You know, we did have a push today, but wasn't nothing huge, but we did push up today. Not like that volume on Apple. And I had a feeling, I mentioned that in pre-market, that people were going to be buying the dip on Apple today. Affirm, you got this bear flag here. Right back in, bear flagging right into resistance, the 9 and previous resistance. So you can see Affirm here today had a nice push at open, formed this flag. This flag, it took on your 15-minute 20, flagged right into your 15-minute 20, retook the 9 back and had a nice push. Nice pattern there. Amazon, you can see this little wedge, little rising wedge here, and we opened up and we pulled back here, broke to the downside. But overall had a nice push. AMC had a decent push today, but you can see, if you go back, you can see the big pullback that we had the other day that formed that big candle, and we're slowly trying to take it back. AMD 15-minute chart, you can see we pushed up. We were able to retake the 15, the 200 on the 15, and then continue to push. Not your strongest day, but it was an up day, which is good. You can see Amazon here. We have a bear flagging right up in the previous resistance. So this is another one. We're right into the 9 here. MACD is still bearish, but you can see one thing we're looking at. You can see your histogram changing. Apple, you can see that, the big pullback. You can see the big gap down here, the big pullback. This side's almost a double bottom here. This side actually put in a higher low, and then we were off to the races coming out of pre-market. Market opened, they snatched it back, chopped around down here. Then you can see the slow recovery, but when it started, it just trended right up and got a little crazy here when it finally took that your 15-minute 50 out, which your 15-minute 50 can be a huge level. Boeing, you can see this rounded top here, flagging right back into resistance. Your 9's trying to catch up. So will we continue to push? Will we take this out finally? I mean, this move today was on volume. You can see the expanding volume coming into it today. MACD is trying to change character. It's going to take quite a bit of push to break out of this pattern, break this trend here. Take that 9 out, then you have a resistance level to take out as well. Bitcoin, you still see this rounded top on the weekly. You can see the same thing here on the daily. We're still trading within that pattern. We did have a decent candle this week that we were expecting. Boeing had a nice push today. Look at that volume bar that come into it. Big volume coming in. Might have been a new spike happening during that 15 minutes that I didn't catch today. Charge point, We were curious whether this was going to be a double top. We come down, didn't quite make it to our neckline, and started to push here. Overall, you got a bear flag flagging right back into resistance. It took the 200 back, but you flagging right into your 50 here. Your 9's coming down. So is this bear flag going to play out and make the next leg down, or are we going to continue up? That's the big question right now. And we have some more Fed speakers tomorrow. Crowd, bear flagging back into previous resistance. We have a lot of bear flags here. And this is what we were expecting this week. We knew we had to get a bounce, some kind of bounce. We knew we had to cool them oscillators off some kind of way. A CVS, we did break out of this descending triangle, retesting resistance. See how this works out. Starting to see these MACDs trying to change character a little bit as well, but they can pinch easily and move back to the downside. CVX, nice candle today on that. Nice push. A very nice grind up here. Took the 200 out with no problems. DraftKings, you can see we got the breakout on this pattern. It's actually took that neckline back, took the resistance level back, so now it becomes support. But we have this bear flag. We have the 9, the 20, and the 50 right here. We're getting ready to run into if this does push. So if we do try to push, we have some levels of resistance. Dollar Tree, we broke out of this bottom symmetrical triangle. You can see we broke out on Monday. Tuesday, pulled back and almost retested the resistance today. So we could, right now, we're watching for another pullback. There's a good chance that this is just a bear trap or a bull trap, and we're just going to, retest and pull back. And tomorrow, we're just going to have to play the action. We do have GDP at 8:30, so that's going to move the market. I do believe the estimate's 0.6, but I'm not sure positive of that right now. In phase here. In phase is still holding up well. I mean, it's one of the stronger stocks in the market right now. It's not really what you would call a market leader. It's not the stock that you want leading the market, but it definitely has held up well in all this bearishness going on. Retook the 50, still got the 9 and 20 coming down on it. MACD is down here changing character. Look at that bottom line. We talk about this stuff all the time to help to identify these signals. MACD is a very powerful tool if you know and understand how to use it. ExxonMobil, nice push today. Energy charts were looking really good. First Solar actually took out this downtrend here. We did close over it. Let's see where we open tomorrow. Getting a Bollinger Bands pinch here. MACD's changing character. Look at the RSI turn back up, trying to give us some relative strength. This guy likes to run hot. I love stocks that like to run hot. That's exactly what I'm looking for. When people see stuff like that, your average person, when they see that right there, they're looking to short. I really like seeing these stocks hot like this. But people are like, oh, we're overbought, let's go short. You got slaughtered on that move. A GME, you've actually got a 1, 2, 3. You put in a a higher low here. So your next move should be a textbook move, and I'm not saying we're going to do a textbook move here, but we did take the 9 and 20 back, would be a higher high. So low, high, low. Your next high, naturally, we're trying to be above here. So 1, 2, 3. Entry point is breaking the neckline. I would watch it opening up tomorrow over top that 9 and 20. See what happens. We could pull back tomorrow. Google here flagging right into your 9 as well. So we're right into resistance, but your MACD is trying to change character. And Google has made a very strong move to the downside. It's been trading weaker, so maybe they may try to bounce that one. Qs. Once again, we got this bear flag flagging right into your 9, which is resistance. If we do take this out, we got the 20. And this 295 level here is a big level. So I'd like to see the Qs push back up above 295. With GPD coming out right now, I'm not even going to try. GDP coming out tomorrow at 8:30. I'm not even going to try to guess what this market's going to do. I'm not even going to attempt it. So many people are screaming double bottom, and this is why. If you look out on a weekly, you can see it. Obviously, you got to take this neckline out up here to confirm a double bottom, but a lot of people were expecting a bounce here. If we do get it, we did come a touch lower, which means we put in a new low, which would be a lower low. So if we do bounce here, I would expect to put in a lower high, which would be below this point. I know a lot of people want to see I mean, we still got midterm elections and everything. A lot of people want to see, take this out and just shoot right back up. But I don't see that happening. I don't know how much more downside we got, but I don't see us going back to all new highs right yet. I don't see that happening at all. TLT, just the 20-year. So we did have a very nice candle on it. It's strong reversal this morning on this. I pointed that out in the dailies level. The daily levels video, nice volume on that too. That was a very strong reversal candle this morning. IWM. You can see this is the weekly chart. You see we're right here on the edge of the Bollinger Band. We don't have too much farther to go before we're going to find some weekly support. MACD is trying to roll there. Nice candle on it today. It was a strong, very strong mover today. Once again, we're coming right into this daily 9, but you can see your MACD is changing character. RSI is heating back up. You can see here on the 15-minute chart, big move. Look how you respected your moving averages. Lift. This is a descending triangle. We got the breakout the other day, and it pushed right back in. So let's just keep an eye on it and see what it does. Either way, we know if it breaks this support level, we'll look for a short move on it. We did get a lower low out of that move. We did push down, put in a recent low for this pattern. So you got high, low, lower high, lower low. We could be pushing up to put in a lower high. It may have to trend in that pattern a little more. You can see we had this bear flag here. We did break to the downside, push right back up. We took the 9 back, but right back into support. I still don't have the MACD turned on that chart. Tells me that chart's been around for a while. Meta right into the 9 there. Same thing, testing resistance. Meta did make a huge move today, and this was on the radar this morning. I mean, it made a huge move right out of the gate. MU, strong bear flag. We were able to close above the 9 here. MACD's changing character. Microsoft, we did close barely, but we closed back above the 9 there. So it's a good sign. You can see the MACD trying to change character here. Histogram's changing. So, I mean, we are seeing some positive signs in these charts. Not saying we're going to have this big move up or anything, but we're starting to see some positive signs. You can see Microsoft here pushed, flag back, pushed, flag, even tried to push, broke back down lower, and then ripped on the 200. Provided some opportunities there. You start looking in even like the 5-minute chart and 1-minute chart, you're going to find even more. Moderna, we broke out this diamond bottom, forming a bear flag back into the 9. MRO pushing back up, had a strong candle today. Energy was strong today. Nasdaq, same thing, pushing up, strong candle, approaching resistance to 9. MACD's changing character. We can easily get a pinch on these MACDs and roll back down too. All right, Netflix made a huge move today, like a $16 move, something like that. This was on the radar. I talked about this in my dailies levels video. Found a price target increase on that and just got a huge move out of that deal. NVIDIA, you can see it's been weak. Tested 9, getting rejected. We did take it out there and got pulled back. Tested it there, big rejection candle. Coming right back in, testing it again. This time your MACD's a little bit, almost looks like it's crossing right now. As a matter of fact, you can see the histogram changing right there. So we have a slight cross in that MACD right now. NVIDIA 15-minute chart, you can see the push, flag, flagged over to the 9, pushed again, tops out there and broke down. Trend was strong. Trend was strong all day. We opened up strong and we finished strong. We have some indicators that we watch throughout the day, and we had strong participation in the market. Actually, you can see this nice channel right up, a big push, strong push there, even pushing here in after hours. Actually, daily, right back into resistance. You can probably get a trend line on this. No, maybe not. MACD's trying to change character. All right, Palantir, we had two setups on this one. We had this descending triangle. Market kind of changed character, ended up, to confirm this double bottom, we need to take this neckline out. You can also look at it as these 4 candles right there are flagging right into resistance right now. We take this support resistance level out, which then will become support. Then that will confirm this double bottom. The pattern's been busted to the upside, but if it breaks back down, takes out this support, we'll go short on it. A lot of times you'll get them false breakouts and it'll rip back down. Palantir here, you got this little flag, little pennant, very strong move on Palantir. You can see strong move today, and you can see we went right into that neckline of the double bottom, so we trended right up into resistance today, and you can see the resistance right there. You can see it. So we give us a nice little flag, so that's something to watch for tomorrow. Pendleton coming down here, testing support, actually has broken below the support. Keep an eye on that one. Plug kind of flagging down here below this 200, tried to push up to retest it. You got a couple inside days here. 9's coming down. Just going to have to see what this one's, what it does here. RSI is trying to turn up. MACD still not really giving us any kind of ideas other than bearish. Rivian here, we had possible double top. I did point out this hammer candle down here at support, which never even quite touched the support. We ended up pushing. You can look at this as a flag for now until we take out those levels. This is a bear flag, flagging back up into resistance. MACD changing character, starting to show some relative strength. So let's just see what it does. We are pushing, flagging into previous resistance. If we can take this 9, 20, 50 out right there, at least we get if we do take them out, we can get them all at one push, and we'll look for a bullish setup. But we could easily see a rejection there and see a pullback. Robolex, bear flag. This took back support, took back to 9. Watch your 20 there. SPX, this is the daily chart for the S&P 500. Nice candle today. 9's coming down. Actually, we're catching back up with the 9. You can start to see the MACD. Your histogram there is cooling a little bit. You can see that bottom line on your MACD. See a character change there. A CRM pushed back into and took the 9 out here. If we do try to push, you got your 20 and a resistance level coming up. Also, you're going to see some resistance right here, most likely. Very close to that now. You see how choppy it is right there at that level. Almost draw a channel on that. Snow, double top here. We were looking to take this out. We did close below it, tried to fill this gap, end up getting back up into the channel there that it's trading in. SoFi had a decent day as well. Was able to get back above this resistance level. So if we can open up above that, that'll become support for tomorrow. We got the 9 coming down for resistance. SOXS, we got this nice cup and handle breakout. And the market's been trying to change this week a little bit, especially today. And this goes up when the market pulls back. When semis pull back, this goes up. Semis pushed today, so we pull back and test resistance, which is fine. You know, if the market's not going to do so well, I would like to see this base up here above this resistance level. Let this 9 catch up. The diamond, another big candle today. SPY, once again, there's the look at the double bottom. Everybody's trying to call on the weekly right there, and you can draw a line. We come down just a little. We put in a new low, just by a little bit, not much. You can also see the MACD here is cross bearish. Moving averages are rolling over, even your 50 starting to turn down, so that's not a good sign. Your 200 is still on the way up. So this 200's moved all the way from like 239, clean up to 248. So it's definitely trying to catch up to the price action there. SPY, just like everything else, strong candle today. You can see a change in character in that MACD happening. 9's resistance and support. Resistance above that. You can see the RSI is trying to heat back up. All right, so I want to point out 3 patterns that I pointed out in the Discord just this week that provided money and opportunities to members. All right, so you have a little, for some reason that shoulder did not get marked. So you got a shoulder, head, shoulder, downward sloping, head and shoulders pattern, got a nice pullback out of that. This was a falling wedge that draws better on the 5-minute chart, actually. Very nice pattern and got a really decent move from it. What we call this falling wedge, even pushed up out of it, come back and retested. So not only did we get the breakout, we immediately got the retest and pushed. Today we called this channel out. We didn't even make it much, you know, we wasn't in the day very far. It wasn't like I called a channel up here. Called this channel early because it was able to draw in the pre-market levels, and that provided a lot of opportunities today. Very nice. It provided opportunities all around the market. I just want to point out long-term trend. This is our medium-term trend, and this is our short-term trend. Still bearish, still bearish. This turned bullish today. So your short-term trend turned bullish, and that was a big move to pull it off, you know, as deep down as we were, to get it back over the bullish side. So, you know, the SPY is worth keeping an eye on. The market is worth keeping an eye on right now because we are getting a change in character in these MACDs. Square had a nice move today. It looks like it actually closed a little above the 9. See where that opens in the morning. Tesla, this is Tesla's weekly under the 9 and the 9 and 50. This is your 20 under your 9 and 50 now. Kind of wedged into a pretty tight area. There's a lot to do with the reason why I haven't been trading it too much. You know, we got to get above. You know, we say this even when it comes to intraday, when we're trading in a tight range like that, I don't like to mess with them. You get chopped up. Tesla bear flagging back into resistance here. You have a lot going on in this area. Got your 9, your 20, your 50, your 200 all sitting right in that area. So if we can take that back, you take them all out at one time. Tesla, you got this little ascending triangle here. Got this nice breakout on that one today. Twitter pushed up today. I think some news come out on it. I know some news come out on it. I'm just not sure what it is. Uber, you know, we broke out of this double top here. We took the neckline out, broke out. We are bear flagging back into it, testing resistance. MACD looks like it's possibly changing character. 9's on its way down. You can see UNG. We had this price channel we were trading in. We broke out of that today and pushed up. Had to get that report. UNG and head and shoulders topping pattern. We broke to the downside. Kind of hanging out, trying to stay in them Bollinger Bands right now. You can see where we got out of it. Very choppy. There's just a lot of political stuff going on there. Upstart, putting in a rounded bottom. You can look at those 3 candles as a bear flag, flagging right back into support or resistance. We get back above it, it'll act as support. But if we get above this, we got to worry about that support level. But right now, the 9's resistance. Upstart, you can see right here pushing probably just why we're so flat here, pushing into resistance. You can see we pushed up. That is an inverted ascending scallop right there. Bullish pattern. UVXY back in the Bollinger Bands. The VIX did pull back today. Wells Fargo, you can see we're trading in this little tight flag here. Tried to take it out right there and got snatched right back into it. Banks kind of flagging here, waiting for the 9 to catch up. MACD's possibly changing character. Banks did good today. RSI is trying to heat back up. But I mean, we had so much screaming that, you know, we were oversold and we needed a bounce. So the question is this a rally? Is this going to be a real bullish rally, or is this just one day of a hot stock or a hot market? Big candle here, pushing right back into resistance there as well on ExxonMobil. Energy was strong. That concludes our video for today. I'll see you guys in the trading room. Have a great night and see you tomorrow.